Seniors, for decades a massive pharmaceutical empire has convinced you that swallowing a simple PM pill is the safest way to guarantee a good night's rest. They fill drugstore shelves with friendly blue boxes and comforting names, quietly ignoring the fact that these pills are chemically erasing your memories while you sleep. Most doctors won't tell you this, but 3 specific types of nighttime medications are triggering a silent epidemic of memory loss in adults over 60. You take them to rest, but your brain takes them as a signal to stop recording new memories entirely. A landmark study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that long-term use of just one of these common pills increases your risk of dementia by nearly 54%. Yet millions of seniors take them every single night, believing the fog they feel the next morning is just aging. It is not aging. It is a chemical hijack of your brain's most critical learning neurotransmitters. In this video, we will reveal the 3 common PM pills that trigger memory loss by morning. And stay with us because number 1 is a prescription favorite that doesn't just fog your memory, it physically prevents your brain from storing the events of your life. Before we begin, tell us in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We read every response. Now let's get started, and be ready, because number 3 is likely in your medicine cabinet right now. Number 3. The store-bought fog, diphenhydramine. Most people assume that if a pill is sold on a shelf without a prescription and costs less than $10, it must be completely safe for nightly use. But that assumption is fueling one of the most widespread cognitive crises in the senior population today. The 3rd most dangerous pill for your memory is anything containing diphenhydramine, the active ingredient found in nearly every PM formulation, like Tylenol PM, Advil PM, and Z-Quil. Manufacturers market these drugs as gentle sleep aids that help you drift off, but they rarely explain the mechanism they use to knock you out. Diphenhydramine is a potent anticholinergic drug, which means it works by aggressively blocking a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is the chemical messenger your brain uses to transmit signals related to learning, attention, and short-term memory encoding. When you take these pills, you are essentially turning off the recording switch in your brain for 8 hours. This is why the American Geriatric Society has placed diphenhydramine on the Beers criteria list, which is a definitive guide of medications that are generally inappropriate and dangerous for adults over 65. They warn that this drug causes acute confusion, dry mouth, blurred vision, and a distinct morning grogginess that many seniors mistake for a bad night's sleep or worsening dementia. But the damage goes far deeper than just a groggy morning. A comprehensive study conducted by researchers at the University of Washington followed nearly 3,500 seniors over 7 years. They discovered that participants with the highest cumulative use of anticholinergic drugs like diphenhydramine had a 54% higher risk of developing dementia compared to those who did not use them. The researchers noted that the cognitive impact was cumulative, meaning the more you take these pills, the more you starve your brain of the acetylcholine it needs to maintain cognitive function. The terrifying reality is that your brain needs acetylcholine to perform its nightly maintenance and memory consolidation. By blocking this chemical night after night, you are physically preventing your brain from filing away the memories of the previous day. You wake up feeling like your head is wrapped in cotton because your neural pathways have been chemically suppressed. To protect your memory, you need to flip every box of sleep medication over and read the active ingredients label. If you see the word diphenhydramine, put it back on the shelf. There are safer, natural alternatives like magnesium glycinate or tart cherry juice that support sleep without declaring war on your neurotransmitters. Your brain's ability to learn and remember is too precious to sacrifice for a chemically induced drowsiness that carries such a heavy price. But this store-bought danger is nothing compared to the prescription trap waiting at number 2. Before we continue, Smash that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss the life-changing tips still ahead. Number 2. The nerve pain sedative, amitriptyline. The second pill on our list is a hidden danger because most seniors do not even realize they are taking a powerful sedative that alters brain chemistry. You might have been prescribed this medication for nerve pain, peripheral neuropathy, or even chronic migraines, and the better sleep you experience is framed as a happy side effect. This medication is amitriptyline, an older class of drug known as a tricyclic antidepressant that is now frequently prescribed off-label to seniors for pain management and insomnia. While it is effective at dulling nerve pain, it comes with a massive anticholinergic burden that rivals and often exceeds the store-bought pills we just discussed. The problem with amitriptyline in the senior body is purely biological. As we age, our liver and kidneys become less efficient at processing and filtering medication out of our bloodstream. In a younger person, the half-life of this drug allows it to clear the system relatively quickly. But in a body over 65, amitriptyline can linger for 24 hours or longer, meaning the dose you took last night is still actively sedating your brain when you are trying to make breakfast the next morning. This creates a state of continuous cognitive suppression that doctors call the hangover effect. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association Psychiatry found that older adults taking tricyclic antidepressants like amitriptyline scored significantly lower on tests of executive function, reaction time, and memory retrieval. The researchers observed that the cognitive impairment was often severe enough to mimic the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. This leads to a tragic cycle where a senior complains of memory loss, and instead of stopping the medication causing it, they are evaluated for dementia while the real culprit remains in their daily pill organizer. The mechanism is similar to diphenhydramine in that it blocks acetylcholine, but because it is a prescription-strength central nervous system depressant, the brain fog is often much denser and harder to shake. Seniors on this medication often report feeling like they are moving through water, with thoughts that feel slow and slippery. You might find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why you are there, or struggling to find the right word in a conversation, not because your brain is failing, but because it is chemically sedated. The danger is compounded because stopping this medication abruptly can cause withdrawal symptoms, so you cannot just throw the bottle away. If you are taking amitriptyline for sleep or pain and noticing memory issues, you need to have a serious conversation with your doctor about alternatives. There are newer classes of medications for nerve pain that do not carry this heavy anticholinergic load. Prioritizing your cognitive clarity means questioning whether the pain relief is worth the price of your mental sharpness. Your doctor can help you taper off safely, and many seniors report that within weeks of stopping, the curtain lifts and their sharp, quick-witted self returns. But as dangerous as this is, the number one pill on our list is a memory eraser so potent that it can make entire hours of your life disappear forever. Number 1. The amnesia prescription, benzodiazepines. The number one most dangerous pill for your memory is a class of drugs that doctors have been prescribing for decades to treat anxiety and insomnia, despite overwhelming evidence that they are devastating for the aging brain. These are the benzodiazepines, a family of drugs that includes famous names like alprazolam, better known as Xanax, lorazepam, known as Ativan, and temazepam, known as Restoril. While these drugs are incredibly effective at knocking you out, they do so by triggering a neurological phenomenon called anterograde amnesia. This is not a side effect. It is the primary mechanism of how these drugs work. Benzodiazepines function by binding to specific receptors in your brain to enhance the effect of a neurotransmitter called GABA. GABA is an inhibitory chemical that slows down brain activity to reduce anxiety and induce sleep. However, in seniors, this chemical braking system works too well. It suppresses the activity of the hippocampus, the specific part of your brain responsible for transferring short-term experiences into long-term memory storage. When you take a benzodiazepine, you are essentially hitting the pause button on your brain's ability to form new memories. You might have a conversation, watch a movie, or even make a phone call after taking the pill, and have absolutely zero recollection of those events the next day. It is a chemical erasure of the hours preceding sleep, and often the morning that follows. A pivotal study published in the British Medical Journal involving nearly 9,000 seniors confirmed the severity of this risk. The researchers found that regular use of benzodiazepines was associated with a 51% increased risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. The study highlighted that the risk increased with the duration of use and the dosage, suggesting a direct toxic effect on memory centers over time. Beyond the long-term dementia risk, the immediate impact on your daily life is profound. Seniors taking these medications suffer from significantly higher rates of falls and hip fractures because the drug impairs balance and coordination just as much as it impairs memory. You wake up with a brain that is still partially asleep and a body that cannot react quickly to tripping hazards. Many seniors are terrified to stop taking these pills because they fear they will never sleep again without them. This dependency is chemical, as your brain adjusts to the drug and forgets how to calm itself down naturally. But the good news is that the brain is resilient. Research shows that when seniors undergo a medically supervised taper to get off benzodiazepines, their cognitive scores improve, their reaction times speed up, and their memory begins to function clearly again. It is not an easy process, and it must be done slowly under a doctor's care to avoid rebound insomnia, but the reward is getting your mind back. There is no sleep that is worth the price of losing the memories of your life. Recognizing that these helper pills are actually harming you is the first and most difficult step. The path to reclaiming your memory starts with the realization that your brain does not need to be chemically silenced to find rest. You have the power to break free from these 3 pharmacological traps and restore the sharp, vibrant memory you deserve. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with a mind that feels clear, sharp, and ready to face the day, rather than fighting through a thick fog of chemical confusion. This transformation is entirely possible. And for many seniors, it begins simply by looking at the labels on their nightstand and making a different choice. Your brain is an incredible, resilient organ that is constantly trying to heal and optimize itself. But it cannot do that work when it is fighting against a nightly dose of sedatives. The fear of a sleepless night is real, but the reality of a life with your memories intact is worth far more than the artificial drowsiness these pills provide. You have lived a life full of wisdom, experiences, and moments that deserve to be remembered, not erased by a pill that promised to help you rest. Take this information to your doctor, ask the hard questions, and demand solutions that protect your cognitive health rather than sacrificing it. It is never too late to clear the fog and rediscover the mental clarity that has been waiting for you all along. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden dangers in your medicine cabinet, please hit that subscribe button and share this with a friend who needs to know the truth. Have you ever noticed memory fog after taking a sleep aid, or have you successfully switched to a natural alternative? Leave a comment below and share your story with our community. Thank you for watching, and here is to a future of clear memories and restful nights.